why your back is hurting while you're sitting. This is a big issue for a lot of people, and it can be for a number of reasons. Either you're sitting in a bad position and that is the source of your problem, or you've injured yourself elsewhere and now you're just sitting in non-optimal position, or you've got an inflammatory problem that is causing just kind of some low-level burning over a long period of time. So, or it can be a combination of those. But let's address the position mostly, because that will be the most important thing to decrease your pain while sitting. So if you're sitting in a not perfect chair like this one, then what you'll want is a McKenzie roll or something like that. The other thing, this isn't a McKenzie roll, this is a weightlifting pad, but it works well enough for this moment. So this example. So essentially, if you're sitting and you're not scooting all the way to the back of the chair, what ends up happening is you end up slouching over time. And I teach this for a living, and I don't sit in perfect posture if I'm not leaned all the way back. So if I'm at a game where there's bleachers or something like that, my choice is always to go all the way up to the very top of the bleachers and lean all the way back against those bleachers and lean against it. So if you've got a chair that has a straight back on it versus a nice office chair like this, then what you want to do is get a McKenzie roll and scoot all the way back to the very back of the chair. Put that McKenzie roll right at the bottom of your back, right around about the belt line, and then lean back against that, where now you have a normal lordosis. You've got a curve in your low back that puts you in good position. Now, McKenzie roll has the right amount of frequency. Essentially, it's the right softness in the foam that's in there, and it works quite well. I don't get kickback for any of this, but they're just a really good tool. So once you're in this position, now your head sits over your shoulders, your whole body is over your pelvis, and your back is in a good solid position. I have rarely seen anyone who can sit like this all day and maintain that. Usually what happens is they end up doing a posterior pelvic tilt and straightening out their spine, and now their head sits forward to the shoulders and all these muscles get tight, and then we're not even talking about ergonomics of keyboard position or monitor today. So those also play a factor. So this is a good kind of make do when you need it, but optimally you would get a good office chair like this. This is a Modway Edge Mesh, I think, is the name. They're really good. I don't get a kickback for that either, but we've used them for the last 5 years. The only thing that's happened is the piston broke on this one, so it doesn't come all the way up, but still a good functioning chair. So when you're using a chair with a good back on it, you don't need the McKenzie roll. All you have to do is, again, scoot to the very back like this. Now, I'm relatively tall. If your femur length doesn't fit for the seat pan, for instance, if I was 5 feet tall, then I would only be able to get to here. And then my choice would be to either lean back like this or to sit up like this all day. I would suggest a different chair. You would need to buy a chair that has a more not narrow, but a shortened seat pan, so that when you scoot all the way back, the back of your knee isn't touching there and cutting off circulation. So for this example, it works for me. Scoot all the way back and lean all the way back against the chair like this. Usually when I tell people to do this, they look at me and say, I'm leaning way too far back. I say, well, it's just not what you're used to. You should be at least vertical to possibly come back or leaning back. We don't want you leaning forward at all, because then your neck on your shoulder, that creates tension and pain through those muscles, and over time creates the problem that you're experiencing. So I would start with that. If you're still having difficulties, give us a call. We'll help you out.